We are back for some more action from the Track World Touring Car Championship. Today we're at the home of British Motorsport in Silverstone for round number 4 of the championship. We're steamrolling towards the halfway point of the season with 3 more races, leaving us with another 3 before we're halfway through the campaign. Today we're on the international circuit at Silverstone. This 2.2 mile circuit is going to play host to 3 14 lap races over the course of the night. Race distance around about 31 miles, so tyre wear is going to be a bit of a factor. Taking a look at the championship, TRAC Active holds a 3-point advantage over TRAC Stug heading into this weekend. W8 Tom is 6 points further back in third, with TRAC Kraus just a single point in fourth. TRAC Woody rounds out the top 5 with LB Danzella 21 points further behind in 6th. 7th is TRAC Vicious, and round out the top 8 is the Audi RS3 of TRAC Joey. Before we get down to racing, let's take a look at this fantastic circuit on board MTG Dingo. So down the start-finish straight past the Silverstone wing to start our lap here on the international circuit. The first part is part of the Grand Prix circuit, firing through Abbey Corner at around about 120 miles an hour, keeping the power absolutely pinned in 5th gear. Into the first braking point of the lap, down towards 2nd gear, attack the curb on the way into the middle, but don't go too wide as we're going to sweep to the left and then fire into a right-hander. This right-hander is one of the more dangerous corners on the circuit. That wall comes at you so fast, but you need to get within inches of it to maximise your line. Down the hanger straight, heading under the Silverstone Bridge, through the gears, up into top gear, around about 150 miles an hour before you head into the braking zone of Stowe. This is one of the quicker corners. Down 2 gears, throw the car into the right hand side, use all the curve in the middle and run that car as far as you can on the left hand side to maximise your exit. Just a couple of corners left to go. We've got a left-right chicane, hard on the brakes, down to 2nd gear, attack that curve once again on your left hand side, kill the wheel spin through this first right, and then one more corner to go. Get the power down in 4th gear, snag 5th as you come to the exit, use the curve on the exit, and that completes a lap of Silverstone International. So before we go racing, let's find out exactly how fast everyone is around this track by seeing the results of qualifying. So after qualifying, it was the 4th different pole sitter, TKL Point Blank, who came out on top. Punisher, brand new driver in the first BMW we've seen in the AM lobby, lines up in 2nd with Actim and Stug on row number 2. Row 3 sees TRAC Sabine and Griffiths Maximus in a 2nd Chevrolet, with row 4 seeing Danzella and MTG Dingo. First time we've seen the MTG branding with Dingo. Row 5 sees Cassidy and Skill, definitely not skillful as getting his car into his grid slot. Row 6 is TRAC Vicious and Big Ol' Meech in another Mercedes. Row 7 sees TRAC Nightmare, first time in the TRAC colours, and TRAC Kraus on road, finishing out row 7. Row 8 is W8 Tom and TRAC Woody, and finishing the grid is TRAC Joey in P17. So down the grid, ready to go racing, lights come on, out they go. Bad start left for Mercedes, looked like he had it hooked up in reverse, but a really good start for the BMW, the first time we've seen the BMW in the AM lobby, and look how quickly it's got away. Stokes got slotted himself into 2nd place, he's got a decent gap already, but look how far that BMW from 2nd on the grid has got himself up and into the lead. So it looks like that Beamer, it's completely unrestricted, it might end up running away with this one. Stokes not going to run away with this though, he's got Griffiths hounding the back of him, so the Chevrolet versus Chevrolet. Actim's lost a position off the start as well, so Griffiths has got a position up on Actim. Sabine's in the top 5 as well as they fire down hanger straight. Griffiths is right under the rear wing of Stug as they head down the top 3. Look like they've got a little bit of a break, but not quite as big of a break as Punisher's got at the front. So really good start for the BMW. Looking at Griffiths now as he tries to apply the pressure to Stug in the BUI's and Chevrolet. Looks like he's got Actim on the inside of him. Actim thinks a little bit better of it. Griffiths though goes towards the inside, has to defend from Actim, so trying to attack and defend at the same time. Actim gets held up though and gets contacted quite heavily from Sabine behind him. On board with Actim, you can see that Chevrolet now disappearing in the distance. You can only just about see the lights on that Chevrolet. Actim under real pressure now from Sabine as he head across the start-finish line to put the first lap in the book. Sabine on the inside of Abbey Corner. Really good move, he can pull this off. Fastest part of the circuit, and he gets the move up into 4th position. So just 1 place away from the podium. Sabine didn't have a really good run at Mugello, only got 1 finish out of the 3 races, but race number 1 here at Silverstone, he's right up towards the sharp end as Actim really under pressure now. He's got Danzilla by the looks of it around the outside into the late corner and just about loses out. Now he's got Point Blank right up behind him as well, on board with Actim. Look at the back of that Mercedes. He's going to try and do everything he can to try and hold on to the back of that Merc if he can do it, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to. Danzella has to go defensive into Stoke corner as the Honda gets a good run down the hanger straight, but it doesn't quite have the legs under braking to get it done. You can see the rear of that car's being lit up now as Point Blank's trying to get himself past there as well. Point Blank looks towards the inside, looks like Actim's not going to defend it. Point Blank sends it down the inside, and that's a move in towards the final couple of corners. Actim falling down the order. Danzella now right on the back of Griffiths. Sabine's already got through. Danzella throws it down the inside and gets the position, so Sabine's got himself through for third. And Danzella now trying to go for third himself, sends it down the inside of the loop and just about gets the car stopped, just about gets the position. Sabine stays on the track, but he's now under pressure from the Chevrolet behind him, heading onto the Lincoln down towards Hanger Straight. They've got to be careful of that wall on the outside. That could end up being a feature of the racing over the course of tonight. Sabine, though, trying to make a feature out of himself down the Hanger Straight. Side by side with Danzilla heading in towards Stoke corner. It is going to be the last of the late breakers here as they drop 2 gears and fire through that right-hander. Sabine just gets the Audi RS3 in front and back onto the podium. So this to fight over the final podium position. Danzilla right in the back of him. Contact. The Audi goes a little bit squirmy, but Danzilla just about hangs on. That's going to bring Griffiths back into this one as it looks like Point Blank's all sorts of sideways behind. A little bit of contact, but we're looking on board with Danzilla, and Sabine is getting away now. So that Mercedes fight looks like it's fizzled out a little bit as he's now defending. This is what happened behind on board with Griffiths. This is what we can sort of see what happened between Active and himself. So heading in towards the loop, it looks like an RS3 just comes in from absolutely nowhere. So Joey just gets into the back of Griffiths, and then Active shuffled out wide a little bit. That's what happened down at the link. On board now, we're looking at... This is Woody trying to get himself through the field, so it looks like Woody's having a fight with, is that W810 Tom or is that Kraus as well? Nightmare in front is going down the inside of, I believe that one is TRAC Kraus. His teammate Griffiths running a little bit further up the field. Nightmare in the Audi S3, he's taken a win already. He's only been in this field for a couple of races. Whereas in the last race that we saw, sideways there from Nightmare. Looks like a bit of contact. Oh, it's happened immediately. It's happened in race number 1. This driver's in that wall. They're lucky to just about get away with it. Let's see if we can see what happened here. On board with Nightmare as they head through the loop and down towards the link corner. That wall is ridiculously close towards the circuit. So it's no surprise that the car ended up in that pretty early on. But I'm surprised it was race 1. Looked like a bit of a nudge from Woody, sent him sideways. And then he just ended up clipping the wall. That left Woody and Nightmare out of it. So down the Hanger Straight, Sabine looks like he's got the run on Stug. This to move for second place. And he's got the move done already before they even get towards Stoke corner. So Sabine up to second place. Stug is down to third. And the rear of that car lights up. That means Danzilla must be in there as well. Danzilla looking towards the outside. Stug moves over to take the defensive line. Danzilla doesn't quite have the run. He's actually under threat now from Griffiths. A little bit of a tag there, and that's going to bring Point Blank into this as well. So a 4-car fight now for third place, and you can see already Sabine has sodded off in front. You can't even see the rear lights of that Audi RS3. There's a good reason for that. They've probably been broken. But the Mercedes now on the inside of Stug, heading towards turn number 1. Just about holds on, gets the move done. So Stug down 2 positions in a matter of a couple of corners. On board now with Griffiths as he looks at the back of Stug. He's Stug about to lose another place. Looks at that grip penalty that he carries for being towards the front of the field in the championship is really hurting him now. Point Blank as well, climbing all over the rear of that Chevrolet. This could end in tears. We saw it end in tears a lap or 2 ago. But Nightmare just gets down the inside. It's not Nightmare, it's Point Blank. I can't even read the cars, it's so dark. Side by side, down the Hanger Straight between Point Blank and Stug. Looks like Actim's trying to get a move now on Griffiths behind as well. So 2 Hondas trying to overtake a pair of Chevrolets, 2x2 down the Hanger Straight. Looking at Point Blank, it looks like he's just about got in front of Stug. Yes, he has. That's Point Blank up in position, up into 4th, and Stug down to 5th. Well, I believe Actim might have got himself up into 6th place further behind. Confirmation there as Actim spat out towards the outside once again. So really rough race for the championship leader, but Stug is falling down the order now. So this is what happened to Active on board with Dingo. Griffiths is all over the curb on the outside, so maybe he factored into this one. Looks like, oh, he's just way too late on the brakes. And then, yeah, Griffiths got into the back of him. The Chevrolet just tagged the Honda round a little bit, and Dingo goes wide himself. He gets one position on Actim. Griffiths hangs on and gets a position on Actim as well, so that move worked out well for the Chevrolet. He may lose out now to Dingo down the inside of Abbey. So what looked like one position gave for Griffiths, he actually holds station. It's two positions for Dingo. So down the Hanger Straight once again to put another lap in the books. You've got the Chevrolets trying to get the positions back. Stokes falling down the order in the early stages of this, but it's now Griffiths who's locked under the rear wing of that Chevrolet in front. Looks like Dingo might have got past, but it's Griffiths now under pressure from Vicious heading in towards the final chicane. Under braking, looks like Joey's trying to get in there as well. Active, I think, as well, that is further on behind. So the two Chevrolets really not faring too well in this one. This is definitely not a Chevrolet circuit, and they're starting to fall down the order pretty quickly. There's one car between Stug and Griffiths. That might be two cars. There's Active now trying to get under the rear wing of Griffiths in towards turn number one, with Joey in hot pursuit as well. Active just about hangs on, a little bit of a sideways action there. He's got to be careful not to lose the place to Joey, so trying to attack, he's trying to defend at the same time. Looks for a lunge, but he isn't close enough for it, as it looks like in front. Stug's really under pressure now, but looking back, Actim has Joey right up behind him. From memory, Joey in the final restriction, whereas Actim has full restriction on him. He's going to have no tyres left by the end of this one. Joey, though, his tyres may be in a little bit of a better position compared to the championship leader, so he might be able to chuck a move down and towards Stowe Corner, getting towards the closing stage of this race. If he's going to get the move done, he's going to have to try and do it as quickly as possible. The RS3 runs a little bit wide compared to the Honda, while the Honda's trying to get past the Chevrolet in front. So Joey trying to get a position on Actim, but he's not quite close enough to fancy a dive at this point. He tried to dive on the Chevrolet earlier on, but he wasn't close enough, and it ended up with a little bit of contact. He's really closed up there onto the back of the Honda in towards the final corner, so with only a handful of laps to go, this could potentially be a move for Joey to get himself a little bit further up the order. Down the main straight, he's right under the rear wing of that Honda. Down the Hanger Straight, Joey moves out to try and take the line. Actim has to go defensive though. Down in towards Stowe Corner, the RS3 tries to go around the outside, but the tighter line of the Honda and the better grip just about has him covered. So Joey tries and throws a lot at Actim, but he doesn't quite get the move done. In towards the final chicane, there's just a couple of corners to go before we head on towards the final couple of laps here. Griffiths, so really under pressure now from Actim. Actim's closed right up, so this is a three-car fight. Technically four-car fight, as Stug's in this one as well. Stug's closed right up into this fight, so four cars now fighting over one position. This could end in tears. Joey, though's not quite close enough to try and throw the move on Actim though, but the RS3 has been pretty quick through here, as it looks like Griffiths now going for the move on Stug on the inside. Actim gives him a little bit of a bump, gives him a helping hand. Joey gives Actim a bump in turn, 2 by 2. Griffiths has the position on Stug. Looks like Joey's got the position on Actim as well. Now looks like you got Dingo in front of that Chevrolet. So Chevrolet got past the other one and just about now has the potential to get a position on that Mercedes in the final couple of laps. You've got Vicious getting into this fight as well. So Vicious is up in there as well. He's managed to get past Joey just about. He's under the rear wing of Griffiths as Actim's fallen down. And fallen down as a victim of Vicious by the looks of it. Heading down in towards Stowe Corner. Griffiths trying to get back past Stug. Stug though, looks like he's got him covered. Vicious to send it down the inside of Griffiths. So Vicious now on the outside, heading in towards the final couple of corners. Joey's in there as well. Joey's going to try and go around the outside. Griffiths has to go a little bit more defensive, and Actim's going to get into this one as well. Looks like Actim's trying to throw a move down the inside of Joey into the final corner and gets it done. The Honda moves back up a position, heading in towards the final lap now. Actim trying to get back past Griffiths, but it is this man. It's Punisher in the BMW. The first time we've seen the BMWs in the AM class, and it's a dominant victory from second on the grid for Punisher in the BMW on his debut. Not many drivers have managed this, but this is one of them. Comes across the line, take victory, round number 10 of the TRAC World Touring Car Championship. Second went the way of TRAC Sabine, his first podium in the championship, with TKR Point Blank rounding out the top 3. MTG Dingo and ORB Danzella complete the top 5, with TRAC Fishers, TRAC Joey, Griffiths Maximus, TRAC Active, and Big Old Mish rounding out the top 10. 11th went the way of Stug, having qualified quite well, with TRAC Kraus rounding out the top 12. So the next race is going to be a partial reverse grid. We threw the random number generator a number, it came back with number 9. So TRAC Active heads on to pole position with the championship lead to try and defend and less restriction. It's a perfect situation for the Honda driver. So down the grid, ready to go racing for race number 2, round number 11 of the championship. Lights are on. Out they go, away we go. Good start for the BMW as expected. Looks like off the front though. Looks like Griffiths has just about got the jump on Actim. So heading down towards turn number 1, it's the Chevrolet that leads. Honda's there in second place. Joey's got himself up into third and challenging for second straight away. Heading down towards the first real braking zone of the lap. The Chevrolet still just about hangs on. Massive lockup and they run wide. Actim leads from pole position. Looks like Joey's just going to squeak through there into second place as Griffiths in the Chevrolet falls down to third. Heading through the link. Does everyone avoid the wall? The cones go flying, but they just about stay out of it. It looks like you've got Vicious and Danzella going side by side down the hanger straight. You've got them going 3 wide behind, 4 wide. The BMW's in there as well with Punisher. The 4 wide into Stowe. This is not going to work out. This could be tears. Someone's going to have to give a little bit of contact. Looks like Dingo's been shuffled out. Punisher's on the inside. Danzilla's on the outside. And they just about get through. 2 cars spat out towards the outside. Looks like Dingo and Vicious just get back on the track. But Danzilla now moving up the order. He's got Punisher in the BMW around the outside. So he's now into 5th position from 9th on the grid. So he's climbed 4 positions off the start. So good start there for the BMW, but it's not quite as quick as it was. You've got Griffiths now, Kraus is up in there as well. So the 2 Chevrolets going really well further behind. Looks like you've got them going 3 wide into turn 1 again. Stug's falling down the order, but you've got drivers going 3 wide into turn 1. You've got Woody, Dingo, it looks like Tom Misha in that one as well. Dingo's around the outside in towards the loop. And just gets a position on Stug while the BMW locks up in front, gets all sorts of sideways, really doesn't like that grip penalty compared to the front wheel drive cars. But Dingo's got through, Stug's got through, Tom's trying to send it down the inside of the link. This might not work. They're going to go 3 wide down the hanger straight. So this can be brave if this comes off. Someone's going to have to give in to Stowe, and they all file back into single file. What a fantastic opening lap there. Drivers going 4 wide. Through Stowe, we've got them going 2 wide now as it looks like Kraus is trying to get himself past Dingo in front. Correction, that's Danzilla heading in towards, I believe that's Chapel they're heading in towards now to put lap number 2 in the book. Vicious is in there as well. So Danzilla down the inside just managing to hold on against the Chevrolet, but the Chevy definitely going better than it did in race number 1. This time out on board with Vicious. He's not too far away from this fight. You've got Punisher in there as well. So the BMW just about hanging on. Looks like the Beamer's got past Vicious in front as Vicious and Stug. Vicious tries to get past Stug and Punisher's already got past. On more with Tom a little bit further behind. He's going to be coming into close contact with Vicious. The pair go side by side down the main straight. A little bit of rubbing, a little bit of banging doors. Heading through turn 1 side by side. The pair are going to be lucky to get through here. They're both run wide. They're both off. Will they get back on track? They just about, but Misha's just got in front of them. You've got Dingo's got into there as well and managed to split them. So Tom down the inside of the loop section on board with Vicious. Dingo runs a little bit wide there. Vicious just about gets back on the track, heading in towards the link section. And it looks like, oh, there's Tom sideways. Oh, it's a big one. It's happened immediately. There's a couple of cars involved in there as well. And you've got looks like it's Mish has got through that one. Tom's got through with that one. Vicious has just got through there. Nightmare's got through there as well. Nightmare goes to move into Stowe corner. But safety car is called. So safety car is called. So it's going to slow the entire pack down. It's going to bunch everybody up. And it's going to give the guys the chance who are damaged in that one to get into the pit to get repaired. Looks like you've got a couple of cars coming in straight in. It's the Carspunk Chevrolet caught up in that one as well. So let's find out while we're under safety car conditions. Let's find out exactly what happened. So on board with Dingo, he gets a mega run thanks to the off between Tom and Vicious. So that bunched the pack up a little bit. You've got Punisher off in front. Misha's in there as well. You've got Woody just in front. So the pair of those guys go side by side in towards the link. That's not really going to work. And the Chevrolet steams in, just gets sideways. Woody gets into the wall, and that's how you lose 4 cars in one go. So that's going to be Dingo damaged. Woody's damaged. Tom's clearly damaged. He's in the pits. And I think there was another car caught up in that as well. On board with Tom wearing the new Lockdown Live logos for this race. It's not really fared in too well. He's going to steamroller it down the inside of the link. That's not going to work. That move was never really on. And Woody gets spat out. Quite an impressive spin that from Woody. Let's have a look. This is on board with Point Blank a little bit further behind. So it's all going to kick off in front of us. I think this is how the next car gets damaged. Looks like Nightmare just about... Oh, Point Blank had nowhere to go there. The Honda's clearly damaged. And there's a Mercedes around the outside. So cars going off everywhere there. This is what Woody saw. He was a little bit of a passenger in this one. He goes down the inside of Misha, gives him the outside for the next corner. You've still got the Mercedes on the inside. A little bit of a bump there from what the Chevrolet was, and he just ends up clipping the barriers. Oh, and he gets hit again. That's not pretty. So, under safety car, the entire field will form up behind the leader. They've all got to slow down to around about 70 miles an hour. The idea is that everyone can get into pits, everyone can get any damage repair, all bunch back up again. And when we go racing, which is going to be at the end of this lap, then we can get a proper race going again. You can see the entire field now formed up behind Actim to run quickly through the order. It's Actim that leads, Joey second. You've got Vicious, you've got Kraus and Griffiths running nose to tail there, but it is now down to Actim. There is no actual safety car in this lobby. Some series do have them, but it's more like a virtual safety car, this situation. But the pace now all controlled by championship leader, race leader Actim. So when he goes, it's going to be all go. Green flags start flying. Actim's gone. The power's been put down. Joey's gone with him as well. Looks like the front two have got a decent little restart. Actim didn't catch Joey napping, so that hasn't really worked out for him. But the front two already got a decent gap over Griffiths in third place there, over the line. Actim and Joey resuming that fight for the lead in race number 2 of the day, round 11 of the championship. It took 11 rounds to get a safety car here, so I'm going to call that a pretty much a success. But down in towards turn number 1, Joey closes right up onto the back of Actim. A little bit of contact there, just about gets away with it. The two Chevrolets have already got a bit of a gap between each other, so that's going to end up in allowing Griffiths to go for the lead and go for a bit of a fight on this one. But down Hang Straight for the first time since the restart, Joey slots into the rear of Actim, just gets under the rear wing. So Nightmare trying to get past Punisher. Punisher started to fall down the order a little bit after the safety car period. Bunched everyone back up. A little bit of a lead. He did have a little bit of a cushion. He did have disappeared. And Nightmare in the Audi S3 looks down the inside of the BMW. Doesn't quite have the space, but he's still on the inside. On the inside becomes the outside for the next corner. Punisher moves over to take the race in line. Nightmare moves to the inside and sends it down the inside of the BMW. A little bit of a touch. And the BMW just hangs on to the position, but he can't get the power down. Look how much that car is squirming, heading through the final corner, past the wing and onto the main straight to put another lap in the book. Looks like Stug now trying to get a move up towards 4th place. So that's Griffiths under pressure. Teammate Kraus up there in 3rd place. So this to fight for 4th. Stug trying to get past the fellow Chevrolet driver. Stug spinning towards the front end of the championship. Griffiths had a bit of a 50-50 run so far. Stug on the inside. Griffiths doesn't quite get the power down, gets all the wheel spin, and that allows Stug down the inside of the penultimate corner. Through the final corner, Stug takes the lead, moves up into 4th place. Griffiths now under pressure from Danzil. A little bit of a contact. The Chevrolet moves right over to slam the door on the Mercedes, but just keeps the position. This is on board now with Joey. He tries to push on to try and get past Actim. So Joey in 2nd place, pushing quite hard to try and solidify 2nd place, get away from Kraus behind him, and potentially try and have a crack at Actim in front. Little bit of a slide on. Oh, he's hit the wall. Two crashes there in one race. Everyone's going to be doing well to avoid him. Oh, he gets clipped by the BMW. So he's been hit by... Oh, Vicious is in there as well. So Joey doesn't get away with that one. Danzilla, though, right under the rear wing. This is now the fight for 3rd place, thanks to the demise of Joey. A fight for 4th place, sorry. Griffiths trying to fight on and trying to hang on to 4th place just behind his teammates. And Danzilla around the outside. Griffiths slams the door on him, but that's going to give Griffiths the inside for the next run and going to give Danzilla the racing line, but Griffiths just manages to get the car stopped. Danzilla now under pressure from Nightmare behind, so Nightmare, after getting caught up in that accident in race number 1, he's right on the rear wing of Danzilla and trying to make amends in race number 2. Remember, race 3 is a reverse grid. The higher up here, the higher up he gets in this one, the further down the order for the next one he does start, but that's not going to deter him. He's going to try and send it on Danzilla. Danzilla moves right over to the right hand side to defend. That's going to give Nightmare the chance to go to the inside. Danzilla back on the racing line, runs a little bit wide. The Audi locked on the rear wing of the Mercedes, heading towards the final chicane. You can see the Audi's going to size up and move on the inside. A little bit later on the brakes and just about gets the nose on the inside. Doesn't quite get the position though. Danzilla just about hangs on. A little bit of contact between the pair of them. That close that you can't even see the Mercedes. And Nightmare now on the inside, locked back into the slipstream. But it is championship leader Actim. It's hard to think he hasn't won a race since round 1 at Monza. But he's going to come through the final corner for just the 2nd time to take victory in round number 11 of the championship. Championship leader Actim extends his lead at the top of the field. So the full results show Acton comes home in first, Kraus in second. Stoke completes a Chevrolet 2-3-4 with Griffiths round out the top four. Danzilla came home fifth, Nightmare in sixth, Big Old Niche seventh, Track Woody eighth. The top driver after that contact in the middle, which caused the safety car. Tom came home ninth, Punisher 10th after starting ninth. 11th was Dingo with Track Sabine rounding out the top 12. So, as is customary, the final race of the day is going to be a full reverse grid. So, if race number 2 was as action-packed as that with as many incidents, you've got to think race 3 is going to be something else. So, for final time tonight, down on the grid, wait for the lights to come on. They do so now. Cassidy and Griffiths on the front. Lights go out, away we go. Watch the BMW getting a good start. On board with the Beamer, gets a fantastic start straight down the middle of 2, 3, 4 cars. He's straight up into third place. Vicious is all sorts of sideways, so third now becomes second as Point Blank now moves up into the podium paying positions. On board with Punisher, he's right up under the rear wing of Cassidy. He's down the inside of Cassidy. Punisher leads. The BMW off the middle of the grid ends up in the lead by turn 3. Awesome start there from the Beamer. You've got Point Blank and the Honda's got himself through in towards second place as well, so that Honda's pretty well starting. Cassidy falling down the order. He's down to fourth behind Vicious, as you've got them already going two wide. You've got Tom versus Sabine. That looks like side by side with Dingo just in front. Looks like you've got Woody and Griffiths going side by side as well, so the Chevrolet's not fared too well. It's from towards the front of the field. Dingo now gets the position on his fellow Mercedes driver. Sabine's going to be the next person to try and get past Cassidy. Cassidy moved down for the pro lobby. Welcome to the AMS. He's getting pummeled around through the final corner to put one lap in the book. Danzilla now up down the inside, on board with Cassidy. Looking back, it's just a swarm of cars. There's cars absolutely everywhere. There's two down the inside. Tom and Joey going side by side. Sabine's falling down. They're going to go four wide in towards turn 1 again. They're doing it again. This is going to end up in tears. We had a safety car in the last race. We might end up with a red flag in this one if they carry on the way they're going. But they all just about get through. And looks like Cassidy's pulling off there, so I think he's done some damage to his engine straight away. So Cassidy's not going to fare too well in the rest of this one. Danzilla, though, the victor in that one, comes through in fifth place, behind Point Blank. A little bit further back, look at the lead the BM's got already. This is Dingo going for second on Vicious. So fight for second, well and truly on. The Mercedes down the inside, the Honda's trying to hold it around the outside, doesn't quite manage to have the grip. He's going to use all the road and a lot more to try and stay into this one, but ends up having to concede to third place. Now got Point Blank just behind him, but Punisher in the BMW has sodded off once again. This is Woody versus Joey. Both of these guys came to grief in race number 2. Joey ended up with a DNF. Woody managed to finish inside the top 10, so good finish from Woody despite the incident. And Woody just managed to hang on from the RS3. The RS3 came off the back of the grid thanks to his DNF in race number 2. Looks like he's getting ready to send it down the inside. Woody, though, trying to send it on Danzilla. The two Mercedes teammates potentially coming to strife. They came to strife for Mugello, and they'll be hoping not to have a repeat of the same thing again. So Dingo now right into the rear wing of Vicious, heading towards turn number 1. That Mercedes has been pretty quick through the opening stage of this race. The Honda's just about, oh no, he's off. He's trying to hang on, but he's not hanging on to the road. He's going to lose that position, so that fight is over. He's lost 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 positions. Yeah, Woody sent it around the outsides. The Honda's lost 3 positions. Now Woody just has to back out, and Joey's in there as well. Joey and Vicious did have that coming together. Vicious did end up ending Joey's race after Joey had to spin at this very corner. But now heading down Hanger Straight, they're going 3 wide. You've got Woody on the inside, Vicious in the middle, Joey on the outside. But Joey's going to have the inside line for Stowe Corner if he can just keep it side by side with these 3. Someone's going to have to give him this one. Lock up from the Honda, and it looks like the Honda's the one that's going to have to back out. Joey's got the position. Woody just about hanging on to the coattails of that Honda, heading in towards the final chicane. Really fancy dive into here. The Honda locks up once again. So Vicious not too happy with the brake setup of that car. Looks like you got Tom trying to get into this one as well, but through the final corner, Joey's up 2 positions, having got Woody and Vicious. Sabine right heading into Nightmare. So getting closer and closer, heading through turn number 1. Dropping on board with Sabine. Nightmare's all sorts of sideways. the Audi loses a position to his fellow Audi. You got Acting just in front, trying to get past big old Mish in the yellow Mercedes, heading in towards the link corner. This is where quite a lot of the action's happened so far, and they just get through there safely on board with Mish. He tries to hang on against the Honda. The Honda's on the inside though. That's where you want to be, heading down Hanger Straight. You want to be side by side on that side of the car, so it's going to give you the inside line in towards Stowe Corner, which they're heading towards now. Hard on the brakes. Will the Honda just manage to get through? The Mercedes brakes late, holds it around the outside, but it looks like Actim's just got the move done, heading in towards the final couple of corners of the lap. Actim moves up a position on Mish. Mish is going to fall into the clutches of Sabine. Sabine right on the rear wing of that Audi, of that Mercedes. He's already got past the Audi of Nightmare, and now heading in towards turn number 1. He's already on the coattails of Mish, heading through Abbey Corner now. This pretty much flat out around about 115 miles an hour in these cars, so you might not have massive amounts of aero or massive amounts of grip, but these cars are ridiculously quick around this circuit. Heading in towards the loop section, and then heading on, getting ready to head towards Hanger Straight. Sabine trying to line up the move, heading in towards the link. He'll be brave to go for it here, having seen what's happened in the previous couple of races, and just about gets through. But Nightmare now trying to side some moves up, move up behind. The S3 goes on the inside of the RS3. The RS3 does have more power. There's around about 25 horsepower difference between these cars. But Nightmare gets the move already done. He drags past that RS3 and gets the move done before they get towards Stowe Corner. But Nightmare runs towards the outside. Sabine's on the inside. It's going to give him the outside for the next corner. Nightmare's where you want to be. Nightmare's got the defensive line in towards the final chicane and just about pulls that Audi S3 in front. But he's going to have to take a tighter line through the final double right-hander, and that allows Sabine to get the power down. He's probably going to chuck it over the curbs, and he gets the position. Side by side as you head down the straight, Nightmare tucks back in. So Tom versus Woody, these guys were fighting for the win at Mugello in race number 3. Now they're fighting over around about 8th place, but the Chevrolet looks like it's going to try and chuck it down the inside of the Hanger Straight. Will he just about be able to get the run? Doesn't look like he's got the legs, but the pair are side by side heading in towards Stowe Corner. Under braking, looks like the Mercedes just about has the legs, but he locks up a little bit. Woody's locked up. That's allowed the Chevrolet to get through and get the position on the Mercedes. These two have been fighting all championship. They're going to be really close in the point standings. There was only 3 points between them. I bet there's going to be nothing at all between them. Woody tries to come back, doesn't quite get the move done, and the Chevrolet just hanging on down the main straight. Put another lap in the book. Woody right under the rear wing of the Chevrolet. You can see that car is so much quicker down the straight, but through the corners it looks like the Mercedes definitely has the legs. The Chevrolet has to use all the curb and a little bit more. Down the inside goes Woody to the outside for the next corner. It'll be a good move if he can get that done. The Chevrolet just defends it, lock up, and that's going to allow Woody to take the run back down the outside. This is where they came to strife at the link. Will he try and fancy a dive down here? He goes for it. Will he get through? Just about. Tiniest of touches. And the pair get through, but the Chevrolet gets the power down quicker, and the Mercedes is down and out. So this is what happened to the pair of Demon Tweets cars. They were running down towards the front field and then suddenly dropped. So is this going to be another case of throwing it through the link and a car ends up in the barrier? Oh, Griffiths ended up in the barrier and Krauss clouted him. So the two Demon Tweets teammates take each other out. So back with the fight between Woody and Tom, heading through the link corner. Oh, looks like there's another car in there as well. Dan Zilla's gone in that one quite hard. He'd be lucky if he doesn't have any damage. The Mercedes just coming down the Hanger Straight quite slow, as you've got Woody now right under the rear wing of the Chevrolet. Woody goes down towards the inside of Stowe Corner, heading in towards the braking zone. He just gets the car pulled up in front, and the Chevrolet has to yield, but there's another car gone into that wall. That looks like Dan Zilla. It was Dan Zilla. He'll be lucky if he doesn't have damage. It looks like he's going to carry on. Woody now trying to defend from the Chevrolet. Chevrolet just gets into the back of Woody. That's Dan Zilla's teammate. A little bit of a bump and run there, and the Chevrolet just manages to get back through and take the position of Woody. Heading down the main straight, Woody's not going to be too happy with that one. You've got to think it's going to be gloves off as you head on towards the final couple of laps. Heading through turn number 1, this is where the Mercedes is strong. Through the faster corners, he's definitely got the legs on the Chevrolet. He's closing up all the time. Tom has to go towards the defensive line. Woody sends it around the outside. No quarter given there. Slams the door on the Chevrolet and gets the position back. We are seeing something ridiculously rare in the Track World Touring Car Championship. Something we've not seen yet. It's the first man to win 2 races in one meeting, and it's a debutant. It's Punisher in the BMW in the AM class, comes across the line to win round number 12 and take his 2nd win of the championship. The full results show Dingo comes home in 2nd, Joey recovers back to 3rd from the back of the grid. Point Blank came home 4th, with Vicious rounding out the top 5. After their fight, Woody came home 6th, Tom in 7th, TRAC Acting championship leader in 8th, with Sabine in 9th, and Nightmare rounding out the top 10. After that contact with the barrier, Danzilla finished down in 11th, with Track Stug rounding out the top 12. So, 3 more action-packed races. Let's see what that's done for the championship. And at the top of the standings, Acton's got a little bit more breathing room. He now holds a 13-point advantage over Stug in 2nd, with Track Crowds moving up to 3rd. Just a point ahead of W8 and Tom, who's tied with Woody in P4 on 500 points. A little bit further back to Danzilla in 6th on 486, with Vicious holding on to P7 with 447, and Dingo moving himself up to P8 on 436. So the next time that we see the AMP drivers is when we head down to Spain, to Circuit de Catalunya, for round number 5 of the championship. If you like what you see and you want to see more, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on the latest uploads. Oh, and check the Pro class, which is coming up next.